Okay, so we're back in. We are live. Had some sound issues going on, but I think the sound's going. Okay, cool. So the world is going crazy, guys. The world is going absolutely crazy. And that is because a startup in LA, is it an LA startup? No, it's actually a San Francisco startup, has just raised $15 million, Series A, led by Andreessen Horowitz on Friday, so yesterday. $15 million. Now, the reason this is not crazy news, right? There's this kind of AI bubble going on at the moment, and everyone's getting some sort of funding. But what makes it crazy is what the company is. So the startup essentially helps you cheat in job interviews. I'm not even joking. So clearly, a startup that helps cheat on everything raises $15 million from A16Z. Obviously, Z is how I would say it. I'm from London. But anyways, two investors who are not part of the deal tell TechCrunch they believe Cluely's post-money valuation is around 120 million. Now, there's obviously no commentary, but it's run by a 21-year-old Roy Lee and Neil Shanmugam, who were suspended from Columbia University for developing an undetectable AI-powered tool called Interview Coder to help engineers cheat on technical interviews. So Cluely is profitable, according to the founders' X and podcast appearances. I would take that with a grain of salt. There might be some people who are interested in either like the novelty of the app, or maybe they just want something that they can cheat on. But the main context of this video is this whole notion of us going backwards, right? Us going backwards. Cluely is an AI job interview coach, is how they repositioned it. But originally it started from this founder here cheating on leak codes. I mean, look at them. Look at his hands. Look at his hands. This guy means business. I mean, they all look like they mean business. And this is that red cups. Jeez. Guys, we are living in an AI bubble. This is confirmation. This is full bulletproof point that we are in a bubble. Cue the scene in The Big Short, where they go and find out whether the housing market crash was a bubble. Cue that scene right now.
Hey, there's a bubble.
How do you know?
Trust me, call Venet, buy 50 million in swaps on the MBS. What do we got? Garibaldi 4 triple B.
Mark, you sure?
Yeah, it's time to call bullshit.
Bullshit on what?
Every fucking thing.
Because that is what we are going through at this point in time. Anyone, any tech bro, or anyone from Columbia, Harvard, or Yale, who mentions AI in their CV, it can mean anything, will get some funding by this bold guy called Andreessen. Well, Andreessen's one person, Horowitz is the next person. But it's absolutely insane, right? A $15 million round, right, for a company that had to remove cheating from their website and change it or reposition it into a AI coach. Guys, this is insane, right? This is insane. So what I can see is that they had to scrub cheating language from the website, and it's called personalized coach. But the way he started was that he actually cheated. He cheated in his Amazon interview. So I can find this right now. Could you? I'm using Comet, by the way, guys. Comet is like my main browser. Could you find the article where Cluely founder was exposed by Amazon for cheating and was let go from Columbia? So let's bring this up just to give you guys some context as to how this guy got his start. I mean, to be fair, the image says it all, right? The image says it all. They've got red cups. So here it is. So Columbia student suspended over interview cheating tool raises 5.3 million to cheat on everything. So he raised, so his total, I'm assuming his total raise is 20 million at this point, right? So he raised 5.3 million in a seed funding and then another 15 million Series A. So he's currently up 20 million in funding. So, okay, this is the post, right? Let's look at the post. So I just got kicked out of Columbia for taking a stand against leak code interviews. And here is the actual letter sent to him. So after carefully considering all the information provided throughout the investigative process, we find you responsible for the following prohibited behavior. And these are the 4 categories in which he was found guilty of and was let go. And he's made a whole kind of viral tweet. I think it had, 3.4 million views on how he cheated on LeetCode. Now, I'm not a huge proponent or, companion of LeetCode. I think LeetCode is flawed in many ways, and I'm not even a developer. But I've seen what it does to people. It makes people insane, right? But I like the story of it. I like the story of how he decided that he would cheat on the interview process from Amazon. But what I don't like is, here it is. Look, so we use the entire recruiting cycle to polish the UX on real-time interviews, getting offers from Meta, TikTok, Capital One, and Amazon. So he got offers from 4 big global organizations. Crazy. So he actually ended up posting all of these offers as work experience on my LinkedIn. I got my accounts banned because I didn't have work emails to either of them. I don't know why he did that. This guy doesn't give me kind of humble vibes. He gives me a very Charlie Ponzi kind of. It seems like he will go through a Ponzi scheme if possible, right? It's like a Madoff. Like he'll probably overinflate his company in a few years when people realize how dumb the concept of cheating, or should I say, assisting interviews goes. But guys, this is what I'm seeing, right? We're currently seeing we're seeing the bubble pick up, and it's expanding, right? The early warnings about AI, it wasn't just about killer robots. It was exactly this. It was about replacing human judgment, skill, and just belief, right? And the fact that it got a $50 million funding is almost a nail in a coffin, because we are going backwards. We're using this technology in a way that we should be, almost as humans, be disgusted by, frankly. Now, some people may look at this and be like, man, it makes sense, right? It's an innovative company, innovative technology company that has launched a tool that is solving problems. That's fine. We can go into that kind of spiel. But doesn't it tell you something, right? Doesn't it tell you something about our own morals? That we know the word cheat has negative connotations, yet we were still willing to invest in it. Doesn't that tell you something, right? And doesn't that tell you something about the fact that we're willing to pay, or willing to see companies, So we're willing to see companies fund other companies, which ethically is known to be negative. Why A16Z VC believes that clearly the cheat on everything startup is the new blueprint for AI startups. I mean, come on, guys. Come on. Is the blueprint for AI startups a cheat? I can't believe what I'm seeing. Cheat on everything and blueprint for AI startups in the same sentence. This is end times. And realistically, I'm a hiring manager myself, right? I've hired plenty of people. I'm currently hiring, right? My fear, and this is the reason why I'm almost becoming a huge, not proponent, the opposite of proponent. I'm becoming a huge, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for a word, right? What's the opposite of huge advocate? What's the opposite of that? Let me find out the word I'm looking for. This is what I like about AI, right? I'm a fierce critic. That's the word. I'm an outspoken opponent. I'm a vocal detractor. I'm a harsh adversary. I'm a non-supporter. I'm a skeptic of this type of technology landing on our shelves. Because if we cannot trust the people that we are interviewing, especially for remote type of jobs, then we're cooked. This actually reminds me of the infamous engineer. Who was the infamous engineer that fooled everyone in Silicon Valley and was actually hired by multiple people until he got found out to be a fake? I think Sahel tweeted about him. So let's see who this guy was, right? His name escapes me, but we're going to bring it up right now. because this is Soham Parekh. Soham Parekh was the infamous Silicon Valley engineer, right? He managed to get hired often simultaneously by multiple tech startups, including Playground AI, Warp, Lindy, Dynamo AI, Union AI, Synthesia, and Alan AI, all while faking much of his credentials and working remotely from India. His scheme was exposed and went viral after Suhail Doshi, founder of Playground AI and Mixpanel, tweeted about Soham's fake resume and overemployment scam. So he aced interviews and was considered sharp and articulate. We're going to cough at this. This is where the link comes, right? This is the intersection between the two paths that we're seeing, especially with this tech landscape, right? So you've got folks who design technology to cheat, and you've got folks who use that technology to cheat. This is what I want you guys to latch onto. So the scandal was widely covered in July 2025, became a tech cautionary tale dubbed Soham Gate, and spurred debates about remote work, trust, moonlighting, and startup background checks. Now, to be fair, the due diligence of these companies were probably lacking, right? You could easily put in a reference call and realize how terrible this person was. But I think, granted, most tech companies don't do reference calls anymore. Like, that used to be a thing. I remember a few years ago, reference was always the last checks. Like, you always had to have a reference call. But remote work, I would do a reference call if I'm hiring remote workers. Like, that's a fact. And he was saying, Suhail, he was saying that he sent the laptop because he got the address and it was based in San Francisco. If you're not doing your due diligence, you deserve everything that's come to you, right? That's fact. But it comes to that, again, it comes to that intersectionality between where are we heading? Where are we heading? What is this kind of, technology, and why is it that it's got 15 million? And the one thing that I realize is that these tech bros, they all have the same script. I knew as soon as I saw the news report, right? I knew exactly what he was going to do, and he's going to go on a spending spree. And look, exactly what he's done, right? So he's introduced it 27th of June. It gets a $50 million fund yesterday. He spent $1 million on Cluely merch line. Of course, we spent $100,000 on the new Cluely website. It's a bubble, guys. It's a bubble. $1 million on a merch, $100,000 on a website. It's a bubble, guys. It's a bubble, and we're gonna see the truth reveal itself. And I'm worried. I'm worried about the future. I'm worried about the future because I feel like we are heading into an unethical path. And I feel like everyone's talking about AGI, ASI, all of these kind of key terms, right? And it feels like it's quite a symbolic moment in time. Like, it feels like it's a symbolic moment in time. And ultimately, I don't think what I'm seeing, especially right now, if we don't create these guardrails and actually start bashing companies, especially companies of influence like, Andreessen Horowitz, these are the companies who's invested in the, multiple unicorns. One of the largest companies in the world has been funded by these guys, and they're setting a standard here, and that is that if it's AI and quote unquote, innovative, regardless of ethics, it will receive some funding. You can tell by the language that, when you work in tech companies, people have to approve some of the languages. Why A16Z VC believes that Cluely, the cheat on everything startup, is the new blueprint for AI startups. That's it, right? When we look at all of this, this is it. Are there going to be more of these types of companies popping up, right? I think so. Look, the uproar over Vogue's AI-generated ad isn't just fashion. It's just a lot of... Here's what I think, right? My belief is that we are living in this AI bubble. And because it's currently the largest spend across multiple GDPs, meaning most companies' economies' growth has come from AI spend, eventually we're going to see things calm down. The whole notion that everything is AI and everything will be taken over by AI is completely false. It will never be the case. It will never be the case. Why? Because we've got things like this coming in. People are just going to become a lot more skeptical. They're going to become a lot more paranoid, which was what we're seeing. There's just a culmination of things, right? I even read on Twitter about conscientiousness between young generations. And I know I'm going into a tangent here, but I think it's all connected. So I'll say load. I want you to load up the report on Twitter, or I think it's the Financial Times, where the conscientiousness of Gen Zs are at an all-time low. And there was something else. Let's see what it was. Here it is. So, is the internet changing our personalities for the worse? Conscientiousness and extroversion are down. Neuroticism. I'm not dyslexic. I have trouble saying words that aren't common. With young people, young adults leading the charge, this is really a consequential shift and there is a lot going on. So let's get into the weeds. Okay, I'm showing you guys this report because it's important to kind of see it, right, in action. Conscientiousness goes down. In the same time, a social media usage goes up. I can easily be like, could you find the correlation between the two charts? You've got a chart here that says young adults' personalities are changing with conscientiousness in free fall. There has to be some sort of correlation with social media usage. I want you to find that social media report that could tie closely to this chart. So whilst it does the research there, it's clear to me that the more use of social media we have and we break the human to human connection, the more of these issues come into play. Now, this leads me on to the AI bubble, right? If AI starts with this kind of notion that everything can be done using AI, then this will only get worse, right? This will only get worse. So here we're seeing a key meta-analysis study from SpringerLink that confirms a direct correlation between problematic social media use insignificantly associated with low conscientiousness and high neuroticism. Guys, it's all in here. The two main traits highlighted by the report, it had no correlation to begin with, but you can find the correlation between this abstract and just the report that we saw that shows both of them kind of going through the same motion. And so I'm not trying to be a doom and gloom person, but I feel like we need to go back to our old ways. We need to go back to our old ways of living, traditional living. There needs to be a movement of that. And I'm seeing some of it now, but eventually it needs to expand and it needs to come in a lot more. Let AI take care of this world. The social, everything else, the online digital world. Let AI handle it. Let us as humans go back to analog form. Let us go back to the traditional form that we've grown up in. It worked for centuries, right? This whole notion of trying to be everything and doing everything, let AI do it. Because eventually, humans will find ways to cheat and make money from it. That's a lot of money. And that's seed round, right? This is a few months after. Yeah. So clearly, guys, a startup that cheats on everything has just been funded by A1 6Z, $50 million. It's a bunch of tech bros who probably getting a lot of attention now in school. Very cool guys, rejected from YC. Yeah, it's becoming crazy. That's the video. I just wanted to report on it because I felt like it was worth reporting on. It's just crazy information, crazy news. Where does this make us? Where are we heading? If I'm now interviewing candidates, does that put me in a limbo? Do I need to now almost start with the thought of them cheating, essentially? It just causes a lot more friction. It's not being productive whatsoever. It's just making us as humans trust humans a lot less. And again, this comes back. This is why it ties down to all of this. Neuroticism, right? extroversion going down. Like we just become less trustworthy of ourselves and of people around us. And it's becoming crazy, and I'm not entirely sure what the future holds. There's even reports now, why is online dating so grim, which I can make a separate video of I'll probably make a separate video on this because I have a lot of information / feedback / opinions on this topic itself. But yeah, the world is currently interesting, I would say, because I try to be optimistic. It's very interesting. I will try to report more on these kind of news as it comes. There's a few more topics that I would share relatively soon. But yeah, that's the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I will catch you all very soon.